Bro, this is what I do, man. We are back with another video. Now we do have a tactics video, pretty different one. It's going to be 3 formations and tactics that I have trialed and tested, played in Elite Division, 1 plus 11 wins in champs. You know, these are all formations that I feel like is personally the best. Let's get into it. MMOXP, we all know, is the greatest website right now for coins. Team of the season is near. Get acquainted with my code META. That's code META for the best meta cards. Team of the season is near, not just 8% off, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. For instance, if you purchase 30 million coins, you get an additional 4.5 million coins. So they have a added bonus when purchasing coins. That's why MMOXP is the GOATs. Now, if you also check their page out, they do have giveaways, so go check the description out right now. Yes, get it. Now, obviously, the codes will be in the pinned comment. Don't just copy and paste, boys. Please learn what I have to say, actually see what I have to say. We're going to jump right into it. The very first formation is going to be the 4-2-3-1. Very nice formation when it comes to compactness, when it comes to just short tiki-taka play. I love this type of formation because essentially you got your 2 CDMs that kind of rule out cutbacks. You got your lamb ram, which essentially is the width, and then you have your cam that kind of links the CDMs with the lamb ram, and then the striker layers off the ball. Incisive is always nice, plus that I'm talking about for the cam. Short passing and high. I'll be completely honest, all 3 of my formations have this exact playstyle with defensive approach. What this does is, right, it's a very nice balance of press, and then you obviously have that short passing to lay off the ball very nicely, quickly. The thing is, when you're short passing, right, when you're passing in the game, hold down LB, obviously L1 on PlayStation, and essentially have some fun. Literally just hold down LB whilst passing. It basically triggers runs, and the players go in beautifully in harmony, bro, in their rightful positions, and also attack beautifully. Yo, check, man. I'll actually try and play a clip of this game that I was playing. When I had short passing on, bro, it just makes it so much more insane. Yeah, post patch as well, we got a high defensive approach, obviously 70, used to be 90. We all know what happened with that. EA have depleted stamina with that, and yeah, you see a lot of gaps, let's just say that. But if you are in a situation where you need a goal, you can go 90 plus. Not advisable though, let me just say that. Let's jump over to player roles, though. We do have pretty much, with me, the goalkeeper is going to be on goalkeeper defend. I always have it like that because I like to have my goalkeeper, I like to move them out myself, because I feel like when you have the AI do it for you, that's where all the rubbish happens, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't like that indeed. So overall, though, I do like having Milinkovic-Savic very tall as well, rushing out by myself, you know, not automatic but manual movement. So yeah, the gist of it is very nice. Let's jump over to the fullbacks now. I felt like when I move them to defend, it's a little bit too defensive and stagnant, so you actually have the fullback play a little bit of a role coming up the field, bro, because what this does is with the short passing, you can actually play intercrit, like intercrit, what is that word, bro? I'm trying just ignore me, man. What I'm trying to say is trying to play like a nice interplay with the CDM, the RAM, you know, trying to play like that triangle movement is not a bad shout right there. But yeah, very, very nice and lively. I do like, you can essentially, if you don't really, not good at defending, have 1 fullback on defend. I just wouldn't say it's worth it. You'll be at a disadvantage. Might as well just have them actually come up the pitch a little bit, because you already have the 2 CDMs, bro. It's already a defensive formation as is. But yeah, we already have the 2 CDMs. As I said, I can't stress this enough. When you have 2 CDMs, right, you can have 2 lanky dons at CDM, but I feel like the perfect combination is having someone that's tall, that's lanky, like a Vieira, that gets to the ball, gets to the crevices, you know, someone that cleans up the characters. Yeah, that one is kind of like a Ruud Gullit, Patrick Vieira, those type of cards. Then you have your smaller CDM, someone that is kind of a character that is low center of gravity, like a Vitinha in real life, you know, defends sometimes, but not all the time. Yeah, overall, you can have a very nice, beautiful harmony play with that, because it's one balanced CDM, someone that's like a box-to-box, and then you have your other one that is just a clean-up character, bro. The man shrugs everyone off the ball, yeah. And I think for the one that shrugs everyone off the ball, it's probably going to be the holding defend one. Please just ignore the players I have in position here. This was obviously at the time when I was doing these formations, I had the players deemed for them. But for now, yeah, I don't have great players. Like the Paul, come on, bro. He's not great, bro. I definitely think someone like a Vera, as I said, yeah, a Tweedy, a Ramirez, you know, someone that is just straight up, Kante, straight up like defensive is nice. And then we have a deep lying playmaker, defend. Now they sit back, but sometimes this character kind of pushes up a little bit. This could be your smaller character if he has the deep lying playmaker, or she, you know, we don't discriminate. Don't call me a sexist. Let's jump into it, bro. What am I saying? Nonetheless, though, deep lying defend is nice when it comes to someone that's smaller, because essentially they do defend, right? They have the amazing defense, but they also go up the field as well and then play those intricate movements with the lamb ram or the lamb and cam. And then, yeah, you know, kind of having good passing is always a nice option as well. Yeah, this character is not bad. I like Reindeer's, very nice card. Yeah, plays the deep lying very well as well. Gravenbush could play it well as well. I do think so. When you are doing this right, you can even have a holding, like a small holding character. You know, like Kimmich, for instance, in this role can still play CDM. The thing is, if you have one lanky guy, like I've got Rangers already, right? Then I'd have someone like a Kimmich, just to kind of offset that, you know, balance and kind of offset that, what is it called, lankiness. Because having two CDMs, I felt like, I don't know, bro, the turning just wasn't great, especially in heavy gameplay, even in good gameplay. It wasn't great, man. I don't know what it is. It could be different for other people, but for now, I felt like that was always perfect. We got our Lamb and Ram now. I feel like the low center of gravity, or like the quickest player, is probably going to be a Shadow Striker attack card. So someone like I'm trying to think of cards, bro. Shaqiri, you know, Rafinha, Olise is a nice Shadow Striker. These are cards that essentially act as the Ram, even right striker, bro, because they cut inside, they can Trivela, they can do all those good things. Yeah, we got our Playmaker roaming. What I like about Ribery, bro, all my days. Probably better as a Lamb or a left winger than a Cam, but what I like about him in this role is very good stamina, and he is everywhere. Now, you have to have a Cam that has good stamina, because roaming, bro, yeah, pretty much goes wherever the ball is, doesn't just stick in the cam spot. You can find him there, but sometimes drops even like very deep, you know, by the halfway line, and then like collects the ball, runs up, you know. It's kind of like a pushing character, a striding character. I'm trying to think of a name. Someone that like runs with the ball, you know, free roaming, shovey type of vibes. Yeah. And we obviously have our Lamb. This is like the, you could say, down to earth type of character, you know. He lets the other guys just do what they want, bro. Essentially, he sometimes scores goals, stays in that like kind of role where it's in that Lamb spot, you know. He's kind of like that stagnant card, but does his job though. That's what I can say. Like someone like a Ribery in this role is perfect as well. Very nice card, because it's literally like a Lamb cam spot. And then obviously the striker, it's always going to be advanced for attack, especially for someone like, you know, you can even use like Lewandowski's. You can use the likes of, you know, you don't have to have insane strikers. Just someone that is no nonsense, especially in a lone striker formation. You need someone that just absolutely runs and just shoots, bro. Cheers, Jeff. You get what I'm trying to say, though? Like, especially with the ground shots, finesse shots. Yeah. Let's jump over to the actual other formation. Is going to be the 4-2-2-2. By the way, I wanted to say one thing is, oh yeah, that's for the next formation. Don't worry, actually. 4-2-2, my personal favorite. Kind of very similar to the 4-2-3-1. It's just this time you've got your Lamb and Ram, and you don't have your actual cam. You've got your second striker. I might actually say this is the better formation. I personally had better wins with this formation, and what I like about it as well is you got the defend. So essentially, I'd say there's a huge differentiation between the attack and in the defense. Like there's a huge gap there. You get what I'm saying? So as you can see, the two CDMs right there is situated very deeply, and then no one's coming like to collect from them. So you could say one CDM can be kind of a player that acts as a CM, kind of runs with the ball and then distributes it to either Lamb or Ram, sometimes even to the striker. So you have to have someone that has good passing. But yeah, short passing and high, as I said, it's just a thing that works for me. Trust me, use it. It's going to be very, very nice. Yeah, I feel like it's even good for people that don't know how to defend or don't even know how to attack. It's perfect, bro. Trust, good amount of press, especially if you have a very defensive formation. It has amazing defensive pressure alongside attacking pressure. So yeah, overall, let's jump over to the defense. You've got obviously goalkeeper, as I said, and then obviously two center backs is going to be defender, defend. That's pretty standard. This, for instance, now is going to be defend, because I felt like it's better with the defend. I don't know why. I just felt like it is better. Overall, though, I felt like, as I said, there's a differentiation between the attack and then the defensive approach. Now, when you're versing very good opponents, this formation is going to carry very nicely, because they're going to try and absolutely pounce through your defense, and they can't, because you literally have you have 6 players behind the ball, bro. 6 players behind the ball defending, and that's what I like about it, because also very nice in terms of like starting a quick counter, so you could defend like a rat and then just start the counters. Yeah, we do have our 2 cams now. As I said, the better cam is probably going to be someone like, as I said, the fast, like low center of gravity player, someone that's just insane for you as a cam. Have him at shadow striker. This acts as a pretty much third striker. And then obviously has like the Travailas. He cuts in kind of like an inside forward type of vibe, and also has that width, which is nice. And then we have obviously Ribery, which actually doesn't act at all as a left winger. He acts as a lamb, but then cuts in, acts as a cam. Do you know what I mean? It's like a formation that kind of throws players off, bro. Because you think we have the lamb and ram. Nah. Ribery actually cuts inside more of the time. He's wherever the ball is right here, but drops in between obviously the CDMs, and then also acts as that cam like center role. And then also kind of plays around with the strikers, you know, pause. Yeah, let's not do that, no diddy. But yeah, the 2 strikers going to be advanced forward plus, and then the attack is always a nice shout. Yeah, it's just like pretty much no nonsense. You could have maybe one smaller character kind of play the role of dropping deeper, but I felt like this kind of clashes with the cams, you see? So you might as well even maybe have them at the complete, because what this does is they act as a striker that pretty much stays up top, but then sometimes even goes all the way out wide wherever the ball is. Do you get what I'm saying? So you could have one complete and one attack. I just felt like the attack focus with advanced forward plus works beautifully, so I have it as that. Let's jump over to the last formation. Is going to be 4-4-1-1. One thing I must say about this formation that's very vital is there's no CDM, so they don't really drop back as much, but there is a very nice offensive, like free-flowing technique with this formation if you know how to use it. Now, you could go with balance with this one if you don't know how to defend, but I felt like if you want the free-flowing, you're going to have to go short passing with defensive approach being high, because if you know how to press, bro, especially if you're very aggressive, but you don't take out your center backs out of line, then this formation is perfect, bro. Trust me, very nice in terms of like intricate like movements, especially kind of passing like very quickly and getting that ball up the field. What I'm trying to say as well is you're obviously going to press like really high, right? The players are going to try and like run in behind, and then you have your wingers that you can actually distribute the ball to, in terms of like maybe alleviating like the, what's the word? Alleviating the stress or pressure. You can pass to your wingers, bro. That's why I like it. You got your wingers that are situated so wide, so you have that width. It's kind of like the 4-4-2. But I felt like if you like this type of formation and you're not really good at defending, you can literally go the 4-2-3-1/2. That one is literally similar to this one. And it is, it has 2 CDMs, so it obviously cuts back. It helps the cutbacks, you know. And then it actually has like 2 CDMs that defend and not just attack. Whereas these ones actually act as like box to box. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But there's amazing cards right now. Everyone has insane cards. I felt like low-key running a free-flowing formation like this is the play. It's literally the 4-4-2. It's just this time you have the cam. You see, that links basically the midfielders to the attack, or links the ball to the attack. The midfielder, the cam is probably the most important player in this role, because he is literally the striker. Drops in between as well to collect and distributes to the striker. So it's like your goal scorer, goal opportunist type of player. Very nice card. Ribery can be that card. But yeah, I think, who did I have? I think I had Ribery on the left, and I think, who did I have at cam when I was playing this formation? I completely forgot. But yeah, we obviously have the left mid and right mid, the same thing. And then we actually don't have the fullback at defend, bro. I just felt like it's free-flowing, you know. You can actually have them on the width as well. They link the... Like, for instance, the right back links with the right centre mid and the right mid to obviously make that movement of like triangular movements. And then, yeah, overall, that is how I basically play with this formation. So give it a go if you want like a free-flowing formation and you don't really care too much about like, you know, playing ratty. But yeah, it's very nice offensively. If you know how to defend with your CMs, you obviously have one that kind of literally stays back, like the ball winning. Primarily position is to like literally win the ball, and then you obviously have your other CM to kind of go up a little bit sometimes, you know, act as even a cam. Not a bad shout. Obviously have one that's a little bit lanky, one that's a little bit short, to kind of play a nice balance in CM roles. Tell me if you're going to use this formation or any of the other formations. Tell me what formations you're currently using. A couple of formations I didn't include. I think the 4-4-2 is very good, and obviously the 4-2-1-3. Everyone goes on for that formation. It's just boring at this point. I feel like everyone uses it. So yeah, I've just tried to, incorporate some different ones that I felt like is nice. I want to try and maybe use a 3 at the back just to see how it is. The thing is, with that type of formations, you're going to be at a disadvantage nonetheless. Because at the way this game is, man, yeah. That's the video. I will catch you boys in the next one. Have a sweet one. You will obviously check the codes in the pinned comments. Don't ask me about the codes, please. Just check it in the pinned comments. But yeah, peace, boys. Cheers.